No, ex-military. Works for an NGO now. You've got him on the line? Exactly. He's on the ground now, actually. I should really, get back to it.
Of course. Go ahead. Oh, and Kate. Send me a note later. Thanks.
Hello, Nathan? Sorry to keep you waiting. My editor. Where were we?
Hey, you were asking about the guy, the one that went back there, the guy that,
Ah, that's right. And did you know him well?
No, not really. He worked maintenance on our trucks.
He was employed by IDAP?
No, nothing like that. I mean, he just helped us out a few times. Off-the-book stuff. Guy was a local mechanic. Family business type thing, you know?
I see.
I remember he had a place on the edge of town, not far from our setup. We'd chat from time to time. He's a nice guy, friendly.
And do you know where he was going that day?
To the church.
He was going to church?
No, don't get me wrong. I mean, that place had been abandoned for almost a year. But he was looking for his brother.
At the church?
Yeah, there'd been reports of, pretty brutal firefight up there. He'd heard his brother might have been caught up in it.
Sure, but... And I'm not quite clear on this. Was his brother still alive?
Honestly, I don't know. I don't think he knew either. Seems like he was on his way to find out.
So, his brother, he was in the army?
Yes and no. It's complicated. You gotta remember it was pretty chaotic back then.
Of course. Okay, let's back up a bit.
Sure.
What complicated the situation?
Just the history of it all. His brother had been a recruit in the Alta's armed forces, boot camp, basic training, you know. Well, this is back when NATO was still keeping the peace. But after U.S. forces pulled out, apparently he deserted.
Do you know why?
No, just... I know they argued a lot about it.
Welcome everyone to the Laws of War DLC campaign. This is a campaign where you basically play as a few characters, one of them being this brother who just died. The other one is a humanitarian worker, and you also play as a soldier and such, so it's a really dynamic campaign, and I gotta say the voice acting is just superb. Anyways, Laws of War, check it out for yourself. It's 10 euros in my country, the Netherlands, so if you want to pick it up you gotta pay a little bit, but it offers quite a lot of things actually. Lots of vehicles, new like drones and such, some new props you can use in missions, and some new gameplay mechanics as well. So it's going to be a ton of fun for lots of content creators. But yeah, if you actually do make missions, let me know by just commenting it in the comment section. I'll check it out.
Hello, Kate speaking.
Hey, sorry about that. Call must have dropped. The network out here is garbage.
No problem. It's understandable. Are you still driving?
Yeah, we're not at the town yet. Hold on a sec. Andy, we almost there.
We're, a little ways out. Oh, and we need to make one quick stop, too.
Thanks, bud. So, where'd we get cut off?
You were telling me about the church. The landmine? The accident.
Right, yeah. Well, of course, a civilian casualty like that, particularly, at a church, I guess it kind of refocused our attention here.
Had IDAP been particularly active in the area?
Yeah. I mean, our project had a handful of camps spread across the country. But yeah, I was in the town itself for a few months. It's all different now, though.
How so?
Well, for one thing, IDAP used to be based right in the heart of Oreo Castro. Of course, this was all pre-war. I remember, at that time, the local military maintained a checkpoint on the outskirts of town. That was understandable. I mean, the whole area was a kind of Wild West. Big mashup of civilian and guerrilla infrastructure. Disaster waiting to happen, really. I don't know. It's strange to see our camp based there now.
Hey, sorry about the holdup. We're on the way now.
All right, thanks, Andy.
So, what's your role there today?
Now, in general, the provision of aid. There was a lot of damage. IDAP fills the gap. Drinking water, basic medicine, post-war cleanup, in other words.
And on the ground, how does that translate to your work?
It's a mixed bag. Like today, part demining, part unexploded ordnance disposal.
I see.
Heads up, Mac. Almost there.
Got it. I'm sorry about that. We're arriving now. Give me a sec.
All right, Mac. That's your stuff all laid out here.
Hold on just a sec, Kate. I need to get set up.
Take your time.
All right, then. You got everything? Detector working? You, remember how to switch it on, right?
Yeah, I got it, Andy.
Then you're all set.
Thanks. So for now, I'll just make a note of where the mines are.
Yeah. Take it slow, Mac. We'll let the Bobcat do the heavy lifting later.
Okay, sounds like a good idea. Alright, so there's a village up ahead. We need to basically clear the road for our vehicles. And the Bobcat is just going to make them all explode. Should be mainly anti-personnel. So we should be alright.
Hey, sorry. I forgot to mention. The demining toolkit, totally forgot to pack it up this morning.
That's no big deal. We're just locating the mines for now. Just keep me posted.
Don't want to blow them
Are
up.
you free to talk, Nathan?
Sure. For now, I'm just sweeping the road for mines, getting a lay of the land, you know. The detector lets us see what we're dealing with here. I can work and chat.
Yeah, this is not really the most comfortable job of the humanitarians. Let's just stick to it. Lots of mines all over this place. We just need to bag them and tag them. Actually, just tag them. We'll bag them later. Alright, let's keep moving.
Question. What happens when you do find a landmine?
Ordinarily, we disarm it, but today, small oversight, we haven't got all our gear right now.
Oh, it's on the way, I hope.
Yeah, it's all good.
Okay, here it is.
Andy, I'm at the barricade.
Cool. And the road?
Yeah.
How well do you remember the town?
You mean before it was destroyed? Vividly. Hey, quick tidbit for you. Oreo Castro means beautiful castle in the local lingo.
Oh, I didn't know that. Do you speak the language?
Not so much, only with the older generation. Not a problem now, though.
Oh?
Well, Oreo Castro's pretty much a ghost town. Nothing here but remnants of war and a couple of goats. And they aren't exactly great conversationalists.
No, they are not. Alright, let's get to work. We gotta clear this place of mines. We got a lot of work to do.
The people here, they didn't have much love for their army.
Why do you think that is?
History, I guess. This place never supported the military takeover. The Kavala coup and all that. Plus, stationing troops in the town? Nobody believed the government's spin about training. They were seen as an occupying force, there to keep a lid on things.
So I do like these flashbacks. I wonder if you can do them in a mission. Like, basically play in one of those apocalyptic scenarios and then just go back in time. Basically see how it was back then to try to get some information on what you need to find or whatever.
There was a beautiful oak tree here once, 300 years old. Folks used it as a meeting spot. They'd pin notes for one another on the trunk.
Good place. No mines yet. Oh, let's check up over here. Nope, seems to be clear.
The church, where the mines are, it's sealed off now.
By IDAP.
No, NATO. They lost some guys there in the firefight. One of their EODs is helping clear the place. But, he's not exactly moving quickly. Huh. Where a camp used to be.
Anything left?
Not much. Few memories, maybe. Just some old boxes here and there.
IDAPs.
Yeah. It was NATO that helped bring him in. Actually, it was one hell of a supply drop.
So, the supply drop, this was when exactly?
Right around the time we saw the ceasefire starting to break down. Must be more than a year ago now.
So, at that time, your camp was in the center of town?
Yeah, things were getting pretty desperate, though. I remember we hadn't been resupplied in months. No food, water, medicine. We were used to issues with logistics, but I don't know, in the end it got so bad U.S. forces prepared an airdrop. Not an easy task, considering, but those crates, they really were life and death. That's why we needed somebody on the ground. Someone to make sure they came down okay.
And who was that?
That would be me.
A guy named Adams, part of the NATO peacekeeping force. Close friend of mine, actually.
Adams? He went out alone?
From the way he told it, he may as well have. No, he went along with some new recruits, local bunch. It was his job to show them the ropes.
Okay, we gotta go to one of the preferred airdrop sites. There's one further to the east over here.
Something I'm not quite clear on. Why didn't IDAP transport the aid themselves? There must have been a reason.
Yeah, there was. A couple of weeks previously, guerrillas had ambushed a convoy. It was some dissident group out to sabotage the peace talks in Crave. Anyway, NATO intervened and the whole thing just blew up. A checkpoint was hit. Protesters were fired upon at the MOD.
Yes, we were there. AAN.
And you know how bad it got.
Our movements were limited by the government.
Exactly. And convincing anybody to reassign troops, to escort NGOs, just a total non-starter. East of the town, there was a potential drop zone on the outskirts of guerrilla territory. Once he called in the airdrop, that was it.
Just
They
gotta
just
wait.
had to sit tight, hope for the best.
One thing I don't understand, what were they doing there, all the way up in the mountains?
The town, Oreo Castro, this place has historic ties with the guerrillas. For years, people here would provide them with food, water.
I see.
The government responded by draining the swamp.
And that involved sending soldiers?
Yeah, coin ops. Adams and his guys were there to remind them of their R2P.
Just a sec, I'm getting a bit lost in the lingo here.
Oh, gotcha. R2P is their responsibility to protect. Counterinsurgency can get real messy real quick. He was in charge of training, laws of armed conflict, that kind of thing.
Oh, there it is.
Adams normally tossed out an orange smoke grenade, which marked his position for the pilot.
Hope we can see that. Okay, let's hope for the best. Don't really want to lose those crates.
One contained medicine, another fresh drinking water. The rest were packed with rice or grain. Adam said to inspect each one individually. Later, we'd arrange collection.
Parachute! 300 meters, due left.
This one actually got down really nicely. Hopefully those survived the impact. What do we have here? Rice?
Thankfully, the rice seemed okay.
God bless the rice. Okay, let's get in our vehicle and look for the other ones. That looks like grain.
It wasn't uncommon for the sacks of grain to split on impact, but that time, we got lucky. He didn't lose a single one.
Must be either water or medicals. Medicals.
The medical items, you can imagine how pleased we were to see those arrive.
So they landed safely.
Yeah, they were fine.
Oh, that doesn't look too good.
Unfortunately, the crate containing water came down heavy. Most of the bottles inside had split open. As for the crates, they still needed to be checked before anyone else arrived.
Okay, let's get up on the high ground here and wait. Gorillas probably saw those crates land as well, so we gotta watch out. Might be a patrol coming in. Okay, this looks like a good place. Oh, there's something coming in. Yep.
Now, the thing with
technicals.
airdrops, they're not exactly subtle. Smoke, noise of the plane, those bright green parachutes, they're gonna get you noticed.
Where the hell
And
did
when
they
you're
go?
in the middle of bandit country.
Oh,
That's a
he's
problem.
right here. He's right fucking there. Okay, let's go take care of this one first.
Cover! 200 meters, front!
Okay, he's taken care of. We gotta watch out on our left flank. Okay, they're taken care of.
Contact! Machine gunner! Shit, we got a man down!
That is not good. It's more where that came from too.
Contact tactical!
The guerrillas attacked.
Yeah, from what I heard, it was pretty intense. I don't have the numbers, but maybe 6 or 7 were killed.
And what happened when the supplies had been secured?
Adams would fire a flare.
Damn, that was close. I think we lost one guy. Okay, let's just hold position.
Back at the camp, of course, we'd heard all the gunfire, but that flare, when we spotted it, I don't know, felt like finding a moment of hope or something.
Sure. I can only imagine. And thanks for sharing. It puts a human perspective on my work. Speaking of which, your friend, do you think he'd be willing to contribute further? Even, off the record. What with the topic of my article, having an expert, an instructor on the laws of war.
Look, I'm sorry. I know he'd help out however he could, but listen, he died on Stratus. A year and a bit later. Landmine.
Wow, that was good. Hopefully you all enjoyed part 1 of this campaign. I'm just gonna keep it short so that you guys don't get bored and everything. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed. Very nice dynamic campaign. More to come in the future, so definitely stay tuned for more ArmA 3 Laws of War.